knives. Little known fact, there's like a different knife for each season, I guess. Yeah, it's interesting.
We don't have that many seasons, though.
Well, no. I guess it's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Right?
Season 11.
We got the sword that your sister walked in on.
Mm-hmm.
Or that Deb walked in. That's not really
Right.
And then the hand. That was one of my favorites.
The eye struck killer hand.
Eye struck killer hand, right? How about that? The book, Crave to Kill, Vogel, and of course the Spatterhead. We've seen that happen a bunch. How much fun do you have beating in Spatterheads?
Those are good days. That's a nice day at work.
And can we talk about, to me, like one of the biggest secrets that came out this episode?
Mm-hmm.
It was like pretty shocking. You could hear like this gasp from everybody out there when they saw that Batista, when he's not working, sits at home and watches telenovelas.
Yeah. There was a happy medium that we struck. Actually, we used to, Quinn slammed the door and we left the door slam and went to a gun firing in the telenovela, but we decided that was a little over the top. But we had a lot of fun with that. Yeah, the production furnished me with several options, and that was clearly the one. Yeah.
Slaps and everything.
Yeah. And it also allowed for Jamie to have a woman on a telenovela pretending to be angry while she was really angry.
Yeah, see, everything, as a director, you got to think through everything. Let's talk about that, huh?
Okay.
Like, first of all, masterful directorial debut. Everything. I remember in prep you were thinking through everything.
Yeah. Well, as I said before we screened it, it was very much a pivotal episode for the character in terms of what he was discovering about his past and Dr. Vogel and sort of reframing the whole relationship with Harry and his whole origin story. So there was a lot there there was a lot of story there to tell, but
and that acceptance that Dexter needed at this moment when he's feeling this rejection from his sister and.
Yeah, exactly. She miraculously steps in, and it's the beginning of the exploration of a relationship with a maternal figure that Dexter's never quite encountered and never quite explored. So that opens the door for, obviously moving forward with Vogel and the rest of the season.
That's one of that moment, that scene with Vogel in her office.
Uh-huh.
I guess it was the second one, I think, where she sort of explains this new point of view that she's got about being a psychopath.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Alpha wolves.
Yeah, alpha wolves. Yeah, she's suggesting to Dexter that he actually possesses something that's not necessarily an affliction, but an attribute, something that is remarkable and can be used for good. She talks about CEOs. I don't know if she says
presidents.
Presidents, surgeons, not the brain surgeon.
No. He's probably psychopath.
I think Dexter, in spite of himself, I think, does crave a certain level of acceptance, and she steps into that craving and kind of whets an appetite for a relationship that'll obviously continue.
Yeah. And the way you shot that, though, even, there's you're like straight on with Vogel, and then whenever it's on you, it's like looking up, like you're like this god looking down.
Yeah. Well, she's she's definitely building him up at that point, and suggesting to him that he is, like I said, not just afflicted, but also special.
Yeah. And you look,
Why?
Great.
Yeah, I tried to make him look special.
Yeah, sorry, I get confused. Sorry about that, Mark.
It's okay. That's not me. That's a clone. Who we're gonna... Can he come out?
Wouldn't that be like amazing? Hello.
Yeah. For me especially, because I wouldn't have expected it.
He keeps looking for the podcasters. He keeps looking to the door. Another moment that you sort of daring choice, I guess. A lot of times at crime scenes, if you're familiar with the show, a lot of times it follows Dexter, under the crime scene, either under the crime scene tape, either like coming at the camera or just behind him, sort of watching this thing. And you did something I'd never seen before. It was perfect, I thought. The crime scene at the skate park.
The space itself was this sort of undulating expanse, which we don't always have, and I wanted to take advantage of how vast it was and try to get a sense of the whole space. And I thought Dexter himself in that moment, encountering this killer, it sort of harkens back to the first time he saw one of the ice truck killer's victims, this sense of wonder in spite of how horrifying it is, and a sense that he's off balance and trying to move the camera up at a time when the space expands seemed to maybe give a sense of that. You know.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, did you guys like that? That was
I did not operate the cameras though.
No. But you had to put this sort of vision in place.
Yeah, no, I mean, one of the things I liked about directing is I had to, or you have to, give people definitive answers so that they can do their job.
Right.
And sometimes when we're acting, especially with a character like Dexter, you can go back and forth. It could be this or that, or maybe it's both. And it was nice to be on set and have to have a more sort of available and expansive energy for the people around you instead of just navel gazing and going off in the corner and staring at the wall from time to time. It was refreshing, actually.
Because a director makes decisions.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, people need you to say yes or no or this or that or whatever it is, so that they can do whatever it is they need to do. So it's nice to really not have the choice to hem and haw about things.
So you enjoyed making decisions?
I did. And I think I was a novice as a director, but as I said before, I'd been on the set for 7 years, so I had a sense of who the crew was, and I felt so totally supported by everybody.
Yeah. Everyone was incredibly excited to have this thing happen. You want to talk about how your transition from